In our minds, LeBron James is the best basketball player of all time. To be fair to Mike, you know, we're biased. We never saw him play.
I'm actually a big Oscar Robertson guy, just for the record.
Right. Mr. Triple-Double, the OG.
Yes, sir.
But regardless of where you rank LeBron all time, he's undisputably one of the greatest NBA players ever. He's got the best longevity in NBA history, but nearing age 41 in his 23rd season, has Father Time finally caught him?
Maybe. I mean, he's still a good player. It's not like a Chris Paul situation where he's going to get cut, but at least so far this season, this is not the LeBron we're used to seeing.
Before we start talking about LeBron and Father Time, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any new videos. It goes without saying, especially if you've ever seen our channel, seen us talk about LeBron, no hate for the king.
We're certified LeBron blazers.
Yeah, exactly. He's
also, we don't want the black SUVs to show up outside our houses.
Yeah, he's my favorite player of all time. The fact that he's still playing as he's about to turn 41 years old is insane. Like, Father Time, it catches everyone at some point, and if LeBron has finally started to slow down, there's zero shame in that. But before we talk about what LeBron has done this season, we want to remind people of how good he was last season, even after turning 40. He did have a stretch, you know, in late November of last year where he wasn't great and there was, you know, some chatter at that time if LeBron had started to slow down. But after that, the dude picked it up big time, especially the second half of the season. He was playing great. Obviously, he was an all-star once again for the 21st straight season, but he was also Western Conference Player of the Month in February. He was even playing so good, he was thrown around in MVP talks, first team All-NBA talks. He had a couple 40-point games in February as well. Ultimately, he finished 6th in MVP voting, got All-NBA second team, but really he was playing like a top 10 player last season. The Lakers ultimately had a disappointing playoffs. You go out in round 1 in 5 games to the Timberwolves, and LeBron, you know, he was fine that series. He wasn't bad, I would say just fine, but with how well he played last season, most people still had him as a top 15 player going into this year, and some people even had him in the top 10. I mean, ESPN had him rated as the 8th best player going into this season. Bleacher Report had him 8 as well, and for what it's worth, 2K had him as the 7th best player going to this season.
I think that makes him the 7th best player in the world, does it not?
Never doubt Ronnie 2K. He's never lied, never been wrong ever.
Never missed. This year, though, before the season started, we got the news that LeBron would miss the start of the year dealing with sciatica. I had been hearing that he'd been dealing with sciatica like this entire season. I just now decided to like look it up and find out what it was.
Yeah.
Apparently it's like a nerve in like his back that like runs like down to his leg. I think? Something like that. All right, Gramps. Like, goddamn.
I mean, the only other person I heard dealing with that is Al Horford, so it's an old player injury.
Oh, Sonny, my sciatica got pinched. That's why I can't walk. Even without LeBron, though, the Lakers have had a great start to the season. Luka has just been slicing and dicing every team he plays against. He's leading the league in scoring. Austin Reeves has been maybe the biggest surprise of the year. The way he started the season, he's 5th in scoring right now at the time of this recording. He's been top 10 basically the entire year. So even without LeBron having played a single game, the Lakers were still 10-4, 4th seed in the Western Conference. And also something we got to acknowledge, even if LeBron has started to decline, might be his best supporting cast ever. I mean, you had your doubts before the season about like, you know, the Lakers' depth and whatnot. Gotta say, at the very least, Luka's by far the best player he's ever played with. Like, all respect in the world to AD, Dwayne Wade, but Luka's just different.
Yeah, and then Austin Reeves, again, I still have my doubts a little bit. I still want to see more, but it's getting to the point where how much longer can I really say that?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, he had like a big breakthrough like a couple years ago, and this is like a second breakthrough.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like, LeBron's never had like another option, like a second or third option like Austin Reeves. I mean, I guess Austin Reeves is now the second option, but he's never had like another player this good as well. Plus, Rui Hachimura is shooting the lights out. Again, I don't know if he can keep shooting like 48% from 3.
My guess would be no.
Yeah, but even if it's still 40 plus, that's great. Ayton has been really good this year, and other guys off the bench have not been bad. So this supporting cast has been really pretty good.
I mean, we've all seen what Nick Smith can do. Us especially.
Unfortunately, yeah.
We unfortunately got that up close and personal.
But LeBron would finally make that season debut at home against the Jazz on November 18th, and he was solid. You know, he mostly played a distributor role, gave the Lakers 11 points on 4-7 shooting and 12 assists. You know, a solid, first game of the season. Played against the Jazz 5 nights later, this time in Utah. He did have an early dunk, but once again, just solid. 17 points, 8 assists, 6 boards. Once again, the Lakers get the win. And then after that, had his best game of the season thus far, at least at the time of this recording. 25 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds against the Clippers. But since that game so far, he has not looked great.
Yeah, I mean, 3 nights later, 13 points on 13 shots against the Mavericks. Did catch a lob from Luka and added 7 assists and 5 boards, but still didn't quite look like the LeBron we're used to. Then missed the next game against the Pelicans due to foot management. Did play against the Suns the following night, scored just 10 points on 3 of 10 shooting, barely kept that double-digit scoring streak alive. People were even saying, he was padding his stats to keep the streak alive because he was playing in the game when they were down 25 with 7 minutes to go and hit a 3 to extend the streak, right? There was also a moment in the third quarter where the Lakers were down big and LeBron was just chatting it up with the Suns bench while JJ Redick was trying to get his attention. It seemed a little bit out of character and whatnot. And then with Luka out in Toronto, the streak finally ended as LeBron had 8 points on 4 of 17 shooting. Important to acknowledge though, he did have 11 assists and he found Rui in the corner for that game-winning 3. Kind of a poetic way for the streak to end, like LeBron has been criticized his entire career for some reason making the right basketball play more often than not and finding an open shooter rather than taking a contested shot himself, which he could have done in this scenario. And if he made it, then the streak lives. If he misses it, it goes to overtime where he has his chance to extend the streak, but nope, makes the right basketball play, finds Rui in the corner, and the Lakers win. I'm pretty sure LeBron afterwards was asked, how does it feel, for the streak to end? And he was just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
We won. And that is the right attitude to have.
It is. To be fair, I also am not 100% believing him there. I think he cares a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
I think overall he just wants to win. At the same time, though, I watched most of this game. Scotty Barnes had the dude in a straitjacket all night. I mean, he shot 4 of 17. Scotty Barnes had a late block on him, and people were hyping this game up as this could be the one where he turns around. It's LeBron toe, and he was even trying those vintage fadeaway mid-range shots, and he just wasn't hitting them. He just didn't look like the LeBron we're used to. He then missed the Lakers' next game against the Celtics on Friday, once again dealing with sciatica, but again, another old man injury. He also, it was listed, was dealing with left foot arthritis.
That's not good.
That's just crazy.
Was this the game? I can't remember when it was. It happened at least in the last week. A reporter asked him what are you dealing with now? Or why'd you miss this game or whatever? And LeBron just responds, I'm just old. When you're old and you wake up and you're just like, man, my elbow really hurts.
Right.
So my foot really hurts. Happens to me every once in a while. And I'm 27. I'll sleep the wrong way, wake up and be like, damn, my shoulder is this sucks.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like when you're 40.
Yeah, I think that was that Pelicans game, but regardless, he's just getting old. And we're recording this before the 76ers game on Sunday.
With our luck, he'll drop 50.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to look like idiots, you know, if that happens. But even then, that would be the outlier. So we'll see what happens. And for someone who's a huge LeBron guy, I've been thinking he's the GOAT for a long time now. This just isn't the LeBron we're used to. I mean, obviously, given his age, it makes sense. He's about to be 41. He shouldn't even be playing basketball at this point.
I mean, 15% of the NBA was born after he made his NBA debut.
That's insane.
It's unbelievable.
But I think the thing that's shocking to me is from last year, he was a top 10 player. That was his production. And then the drop off we've seen so far this season. It's a small sample size. And sometimes that happens with athletes. As they get old, just one season hits and they immediately have this massive drop off.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, we were talking before the video, before the recording, Peyton Manning, 2 seasons prior, he was lighting up setting records. The next season after that, a little bit of decline. And then just out of nowhere, that last Super Bowl season for the Broncos was honestly awful.
He was terrible.
And even Brock Osweiler, their backup, kind of was better in some moments.
Another one is Kobe. I know he had the Achilles injury, but prior to that injury, he was still a top 5 player in the NBA. And he came back after that and just wasn't even remotely close to that.
Yeah, and the other thing we got to acknowledge, it's a small sample size thus far for LeBron specifically. At the time of this recording, he's only played in 6 games. It's going to be 7 games if he plays against Philly on Sunday. So that's a pretty small sample size. He's also joining, Lakers as their already in the groove of things. Players around the NBA have had time to ramp up, and LeBron's, just joining them a month in. He's not the only one who's joined around this time. Jalen Williams, of course, joined the Thunder, and his numbers so far haven't been great, at least compared to last year. But Tyler Hero on the other end joined. He's played, I think, like 5 games thus far, and he's looked great. His numbers have been great thus far, so you never know. It could just take time. We need a bigger sample size, but overall, by the numbers and by the eye test, this isn't the same LeBron we're used to, and it's not even the same LeBron we've seen the past few seasons. His burst is completely gone. Again, he's old. It makes sense, but even last year, it felt like there was more to it. His shooting hasn't been good either, and on defense, the Lakers have been better with him off the court. Now, he's not terrible. Offensively, he still helps them. He's a great distributor. He is able to, cut to the hoop, get buckets like the Luka throwing him lobs, or just, finding him for layups or dunks. So from what we've seen so far, again, in the small sample size, do you think Father Time has finally caught LeBron as he gets closer to age 41?
I don't know if he's outright caught him yet, but at the very least, he's tapping him on the shoulder.
Okay.
He's closing the gap. He's close. I think for the rest of the year, LeBron, he needs to focus on having Jason Kidd or Steve Nash numbers.
Okay.
15 points, but 11 assists, 7 rebounds, focused on doing the little things. He clearly doesn't have it in him to be a 25 point per game scorer anymore. At least that's what I think. But on a lot of those Suns teams or those Nets teams, Kidd and Nash were not the biggest scorers on their team. For those Suns teams, we just made the video on the 7 seconds or less Suns. It was Amari and Sean Marion who were the leading scorers on those teams, and Nash would find them in advantageous spots to get them buckets. Now, Luka and Austin Reeves, I don't think necessarily need that as much, but Ayton needs it. Rui Hachimura needs it.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys, of the role players in the Lakers, they might need it. So I think that's what LeBron really should focus on. 15 to 18 points, try to get 10, 11 assists, try to average a double-double. I think that's where he can be best used for the Lakers the rest of the season. But in terms of Father Time, look, Father Time is undefeated. He has never lost a battle ever. You can hold him off, and LeBron has done a good job as anyone at holding him off. But at some point, he comes for everybody. So I don't know if he's, caught up to him yet, but he's closing the gap.
Yeah, I definitely expect LeBron to play a little bit better than this. I think his efficiency should go up. I would hope, if you're someone who's a Lakers fan, that he can shoot better for sure, to help with the spacing. But at the same time, he hasn't missed an All-NBA team since his rookie year. I think this is going to be the season where it happens. He would have to really turn things around to make an All-NBA team.
He's not going to miss the All-Star team.
No shot.
He's going to be voted in as a starter again.
Yeah, he's going to be voted in as a starter to the end of his career. It doesn't matter if he's averaging 5 points a game. He's just going to be voted in, and if not, the NBA might do that shit they did with D Wade and Dirk. Remember, where it was honorary All-Star?
Yeah.
LeBron's going to be in the All-Star game regardless, but I think he's not going to be on any of the All-NBA teams, which is going to feel weird to see. And for the Lakers, they don't need him to be great. They're still a top 4 team so far, with him missing a ton of time and not playing super well thus far. But if the Lakers want to be a legit championship contender, I think LeBron's at least got to be pretty good, solid. He doesn't need to average 20 plus, but I think he would need to average 18, maybe get 8 assists on decent efficiency, put some, solid effort on defense when he can, and, shoot the ball at a decent clip where teams are respecting that. So overall, I mostly agree. Has Father Time caught LeBron? Not quite, but definitely, catching up, tapping him on the shoulder, and it's getting close. You never know. This could be the last year of his career. At the very least, I think next year's going to be the last. It's sad to see our childhood. He's finally slowing down. It's sad. Luckily, we got this whole crop of new guys coming in, but it just feels weird to see overall LeBron not playing, not throwing down dunks on anyone, because like I said, even a couple years prior to this, he was still doing that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does the rest of the season. I mean, he doesn't have the 10-point streak to keep up anymore.
Yeah.
Probably has, a bit of a weight off his back, doesn't have to worry about that anymore. One final thing that I thought was funny. I saw on Twitter, it was Count asking what streak was more impressive, LeBron's 10-point streak or the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. I'm gonna upset every NBA fan in the world right here. It's unironically the Undertaker's streak. I'm sorry.
That shit is scripted.
It doesn't matter. It's unironically more impressive. LeBron's streak will happen again before someone wins 21 at WrestleMania in a row.
Maybe that's true.
Yeah. Taker's streak being replicated is more unlikely than LeBron's streak being replicated. I'm sorry, it's just true.
Fine, that might be true. LeBron's is more impressive. I don't care. But again, I don't know the whole history of WWE. That's you, so maybe I'm in the wrong here. Let us know in the comments down below. So what do you think? Has Father Time finally caught LeBron, or is he gonna turn it around? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like, and hey, while you're here, check out some of our other content as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.